Welcome back to my Toronto Thunderbirds franchise here on Madden 25, and today we're almost ready to kick off Season 4 officially, but first we need to get through the preseason. But as always, I have gone through and signed some more guys just to fill out our roster, but I also made a trade, and it was a pretty massive one. We have traded our 2nd and our 7th round picks in the next draft and a 1st round pick in a couple years for star corner AJ Terrell from Atlanta. Yes, it's an interdivision trade, but they were looking to move him, and I was glad to do that. In order to make that roster spot, we did release quarterback Michael Burrow. Shouldn't really matter too much. I don't think you guys ever got to see him. I brought him onto the practice squad pretty late in the year last year. But yeah, now we have AJ Terrell. Now, moving on to who I signed in between episodes, I talked about during the draft signing one of those guys with elite arm strength. Well, all of them were pretty garbage, so I decided to sign Lakeem Molden instead, a rookie out of Oklahoma, who is more of a scrambler or improviser quarterback. Still has 90 throw power, but honestly has some pretty solid accuracy ratings for being an undrafted guy. I ended up signing an undrafted running back as well in Derek Atkinson, because he has 93 speed, a 66 overall, and he may be able to take Deion James's roster spot, because I don't think I can actually put Deion James on the practice squad anymore. So he may get traded or possibly just cut. I am sure you guys have probably noticed by this point, during every preseason, for whatever reason, I end up going to sign multiple receivers. I did sign DJ Chark to be our veteran mentor player down here because we have no other mentors on the roster to help these younger receivers. But I also signed Troy Pearson, who was an undrafted free agent. And then I also got Ben Beckwith. This guy's a 66 overall. Both of these guys probably are not going to make the roster. But Troy Pearson I thought was interesting to sign just because he was projected around 2 to 3 during the draft, completely went undrafted. But I do want to show you guys this with rookie receiver David Sapp. That is a 99 spectacular catch. I am incredibly excited to have this kid now, and I think I can really develop him into another really good receiver for us, even though we already have 3 really good receivers. I did sign a veteran at tight end just to be our tight end 4, pretty much just for the preseason, but I brought in Jelani Woods. Most likely will not make the roster, but you will maybe see him in the video. I only ended up signing 2 guys to our defensive side of the ball, and they are both veterans. The first one being Troy Anderson to be our backup middle linebacker, because none of these guys are really going to cut it if Troy Wilcox goes down. And the other one I brought in is going to be Montez Sweat, a 76 overall, 31 years old. And he's really just here because Tony George is not a great rushing guy yet. I'm still working on his finesse move and his block shed. So for this season, Montez Sweat will probably be in when we need to really get after the quarterback. For the training camp, I always do that off screen. The only one I did not get a gold in was the pocket presence. I'm pretty garbage at that one. I used Brandon Elliott, one of our rookie quarterbacks, and got a bronze in it. But everywhere else you'll see I got a gold. So target passing, I used quarterback Ben Richardson. Rushing attack, I used our rookie running back, Will Pearson. Wide receiver battle, I ended up using Brian Duvall, trying to get him to a superstar X Factor. Unfortunately, it did not work. Wide receiver battle, red zone attack, I used our rookie receiver, David Sapp. So he got a skill point and 300 rookie snaps. For pocket protector, I used Sherrod Bryant, our rookie right tackle. Got a gold in that as well. Trench battle, I used Jamarcus Norwood. He's now up to an 80 overall because of it. And then chase and tackle, I used Corey Bailey, one of our outside linebackers. I don't do the DB battle stuff anymore. Once they took away my ability to actually see the receiver's routes, I am completely garbage at these drills. And then I've never been good at field goal accuracy or coffin corner, so I just don't really touch them. Now, as for my strategy this preseason, I don't really know how much of the starters you're going to see. I don't really think you're going to see a lot of Keaton Mitchell because I really want to get our rookie running back, Will Pearson, involved. And I think we're going to try to have some sort of 3-headed rushing attack this year with Keaton Mitchell as our 3rd down back, our main running back being Will Pearson, and then our power back being Najee Harris if he ends up making the roster. Cannot guarantee that just yet. But yeah, I don't know if you're going to see a lot of combinations of the full starting offense too often. And to start the preseason, I have not changed any of our defensive starters out, and Mahomes just kind of went right downfield to immediately go up 7-0. So not a great start for our defense. But for at least this drive, you will see mostly the starting offense, including our starting left guard and right tackle, who are both rookies. We're going to start with a handoff to Keaton Mitchell, who's going to start this with a 5-yard carry. And I believe now that is Will Pearson lined up at running back. Do we go to him on this play? No. Richardson will look to pass, and he's going to fire and find his man for the first down. That's Brian Duval to about the 40. We unfortunately lost Duval and Dylan Kruger at the end of the last season going into the playoffs, and I think that was a key factor in us losing that game. But now we'll go back to Keaton Mitchell on first down for a gain of 7. Will be another shotgun set for Toronto. From the 47-yard line, he'll send Sidney Peters in motion. Now Richardson will drop back and look to pass. He's going to fire this downfield. That is caught by Kruger, who breaks that tackle and gets into Kansas City territory all the way down to the 34-yard line. This may very well be the only time you even get to see Ben Richardson in the preseason, and he nearly gets picked off trying to get that one to Jameson Williams. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. That is Will Pearson, our rookie, back in there. So we'll see if we go to him, and he'll get his first carry as a member of the Thunderbirds for a loss of 1. Believe me, I will be trying to develop that kid hard. So now on a 3rd and 11. We'll send Dylan Kruger in motion. He's going to go line up at receiver this time. Richardson will take the snap and look to pass. Never mind. He's going to take off up the middle, and he's going to fight and maybe have the first down. They rule it a 4th and 1. This is what I want to see. Our offense going for it here. Give it to Will Pearson. I want to see our rookie running back truck somebody. Never mind. It'll be a pass play and an easy conversion over the middle to Brian Duval to the 20. So another shotgun set. Looks like Pearson is still in at running back, but once again we'll look to pass over the middle, and that'll be Jameson Williams for a gain of about 8. And now that Keaton Mitchell is back in the game, I imagine we're going to run the ball. 2nd and 2. Out of a shotgun set, and we do give it to Mitchell, who goes to the outside. He's going to have the first down and get met and brought down to the 7. A 1st and goal for Toronto. That will bring Will Pearson back into the game at running back. That is one guy I really want to see this preseason. Richardson will drop back, going to the outside. That'll be caught, and that is Brian Duval down to the 2-yard line. No, that's actually David Sapp. That's the rookie receiver. I actually have him lined up as our slot receiver right now. And now I believe you're going to see Najee Harris come into the game at running back. So from the 2-yard line, we give it to him. Never mind, it's a play fake, and our quarterback gets murdered back to the 10. That is going to set up a 3rd and goal for Toronto. Pearson's in that running back, but an obvious passing situation. They're bringing a blitz, and Richardson, trying to buy time, will end up throwing this one away, so Glenn Griffin will kick the field goal. The Chiefs' next drive will take us into the 2nd quarter, and they will punt it away. Now Spencer Rattler's in at quarterback, but I have made Will Pearson still be our main running back, and Rattler's going to unload deep on his first throw for us, and it's going to be caught by Jeff McLeod all the way down to the 29. All right, so Spencer Rattler not afraid to just let one go. So a 1st and 10, and we're going to give this one to Pearson, who goes up the middle and will fight his way for a gain of about 6 yards to the 23. I have also made sure that our rookie left guard and right tackle stay in the game because I want to get them some more snaps, and we're going to find Braden Willis for a first down to about the 12-yard line. So Rattler so far moving down the field pretty well. Out of a shotgun set again, he'll drop back and look to pass, going over the middle, and that'll be Braden Willis, who breaks that tackle and is brought down to the 5. Can we please give it back to our rookie running back, Rattler? No, he's going to look to pass. And Spencer Rattler's going to take off, and he's going to get met into the end zone, actually. Touchdown, Toronto. Later on in simulation, just because I'm probably going to end up simulating a lot of the preseason here, Spencer Rattler hits Will Pearson for a 47-yard touchdown. So unfortunately, we don't get to see it, but our rookie does make a massive play. We are now going to jump all the way to the 4th quarter. The entire second half, rookie quarterback Brandon Elliott has been in the game. We're down by 7 with about 3 minutes to go, and I want to see if he can lead some sort of game-tying drive. We'll obviously start this drive with a 3-yard pass, so now it's a 2nd and 7. Elliott will look to pass again, going to the outside. This time he'll find Joe Wayne up the sideline to about the 40-yard line. Joe Wayne kind of exploded in our playoff game last year. Unfortunately, we did not win, but he had a great day, and this will be the final snap before the 2-minute warning. Going over the middle, he finds McLeod, who will fight for about a gain of 7 to bring up a 2nd and 3. The next play would be an incomplete pass that got tipped down at the line, so now it's a 3rd and 3 from the 47. He's going to send Braden Willis in motion, who is going to go right back now. Elliott will be looking to pass. He fires and finds McLeod for a first down for Toronto into Kansas City territory, brought down at their 40-yard line. If I remember correctly, McLeod had a really solid preseason last year. He was actually on the 53-man roster the entire year, and now on the next play, he's going to find Antoine Edmonds for a gain of about 10. That's going to bring up a 2nd and inches from the 31 now. He sends Willis in motion, will drop back, and he's going to find Braden Willis over the middle, and he will fight his way down inside the red zone as we burn our 2nd timeout because we have an injury. That injury is actually Joseph Hobson, our backup center. So now it's a 1st and 10 from the 18, and Elliott will look to pass. He's going downfield to the end zone and overthrowing his man. He definitely had a chance there and could not connect. So now a minute 12 remaining. Out of a shotgun set, Elliott will look to pass again. He's going underneath. That'll be caught by David Sapp for a gain of about 9 yards to bring up a 3rd and 1 from the 9. But we elect to not burn that final timeout just yet. So out of a shotgun set, he will look to pass, and he's going to the end zone, and this time he will find his man. Touchdown to receiver Joe Wayne. And unlike the playoff game last year, we are actually just going to kick the field goal instead of going for 2, and the kick is good. So we are all tied up at 24, and we'll see if Kansas City can do anything in the last few seconds. They will come out with 32 seconds remaining from their own 25-yard line. Their quarterback going downfield, finding his man for the first down. Not a great start for our defense all the way to the 46 as they burn their first timeout. So now back in a shotgun set again. 26 seconds to go. He will take the snap and look to pass again. Stay in the pocket, going over the middle, and that one will be dropped by his receiver. That will bring up a 2nd and 10. 23 seconds remaining. He will drop back and look to pass. He's under pressure. He's going to take off across the 50. He gets the first down into field goal range and brought down to the 28-yard line. So in case you were wondering, our backup defense does not appear to be very good. 16 seconds to go. They have 1 timeout. They are just going to run the ball and get nothing on that play. They will burn a timeout with 12 seconds remaining and send out Harrison Butker. The kick is away, and it will be good, making it 27-24. Let's see if we can get some sort of massive kick return here, and no, it's going to be a touchback. So with 8 seconds to go, Brandon Elliott will take the field, needing an absolute miracle to get out of here with a win. We have to go 70 yards, or at least get in field goal range, and he's going to get sacked. We burn our final timeout with 5 seconds remaining. Now a 2nd and 19. Now we need to go 79 yards, and there really is no field goal range here. We have to get a touchdown. He's going to let this one rip deep down the sideline. That'll be caught, and McLeod is going to get brought down to the 20-yard line. We had a chance, but we will come up short. I don't know why Jeff McLeod was celebrating there. It was a nice-looking play, and it probably would have worked had we hit that on the very first play, but not since we got sacked. So we do fall to 0-1 in the preseason, but I would say I saw a lot of positives today. Our franchise quarterback goes 5 of 7 for 41 yards, no touchdowns, but no interceptions. Spencer Rattler, 5 of 9 for 132 yards and 1 touchdown, also ran in for 1. And Brandon Elliott, 14 of 20, 166, 1 touchdown, and a pick. On the ground, Will Pearson got 42 yards on 11 carries. I do want to see a little bit more from him. Like I said, Rattler did get the rushing touchdown. And Jeff McLeod, 6 for 148, just continuing from last year. We had a great preseason. Joe Wayne got a touchdown, and Will Pearson got a touchdown in simulation. Leading the team in tackles today is going to be Tracy Wilcox, who got 9, even though he should have been subbed out at one point. I guess he was not. He got 1 sack and was the only one to get a sack today, and we got no interceptions. It would appear that Mahomes just had his way with our defense, 5 of 5 for 92 yards and a touchdown. And then Eric Gordon on that final drive, a rookie quarterback, we saw what he did, 12 of 22 for 128, but did lead the game-winning drive. And they didn't do a lot on the ground, but Gordon did get 46 yards on just 6 carries. For the rest of the preseason, I am going to be making sure that all of the rookies get some snaps here so we can try to uncover their depth traits. But for the most part, I don't think we're going to watch a lot of these games because I will be pulling a lot of the starters here. And if it's close like the first game was, we'll jump in. But for now, we're probably not going to watch a lot of these. We'll go ahead and jump in and watch the end of this game. We are down by 14, but we are close to scoring. Lakeem Molden's in at quarterback, and he's going to get picked off. All right, that was not a pretty throw at all. We jump in to see one play from this game, and the undrafted quarterback makes one of the worst throws I think I've ever seen. Just sailed it right over Braden Willis. And you know what's really sad? I didn't show it because it was in simulation, but that wasn't the only time Lakeem Molden got all the way downfield just to throw an interception. At one point, we were down by 7 in the third quarter, and he threw a pick in the red zone then as well. So not a great day for him at all. And I think the stats kind of show that story. Brandon Elliott, which was the guy we drafted in round number 7, goes 16 of 21 for 171 and 2 touchdowns. And Lakeem Molden did not have a very good day with 2 interceptions. Running the ball, Will Pearson got 41 yards, so about the same performance he had last time. And receiving, Joe Wayne had a really good day, 8 for 86. And of course, Jeff McLeod also caught a touchdown, along with Joe Wayne getting 1. There were really no notable defensive stats, so just to see what these quarterbacks did against our defense, Lane Jensen went 10 of 12, and then JJ McCarthy, who I believe is their starter, went 12 of 14 for 167 and 2 scores. Guys, I'm starting to get a little scared of our defense. It is now time for our final preseason game of this season, and so far we are 0-2, and just like the Steelers game, I don't know how much of this game we're going to watch, but I would imagine it's not going to be very much. Well, as you can tell by the final score, this was not a very pretty game. I only gave snaps to Brandon Elliott and then Lakeem Molden. I did not let Spencer Rattler play at all. Rattler will be our second string quarterback. And I don't know what I'm going to do at third string quarterback because neither one had a great day. Brandon Elliott, now granted, he was going against the Ravens starters. I let him play the first half. He finished 3 of 8 for 20 yards and 2 interceptions. And then Lakeem Molden, 11 of 21 for 113 yards and 1 interception. Running the ball, Will Pearson did not do a lot of that, 25 yards on just 9 carries. Lakeem Molden did manage to run in for a touchdown. And then none of our receivers really did anything except for David Sapp seemed to do okay, 3 for 55. For whatever reason today, Jamarcus Norwood decided to go off, getting 3 sacks, and Montez Sweat got 1, but we did get no interceptions, but a great day from our second-year defensive tackle. Are you telling me that Lamar Jackson was in this game for 3 quarters and only threw 4 passes? He went 3 of 4 for 39 yards and a touchdown. Their backup went 13 of 19 for 123 and a score. Did he run the ball? I don't know what they were doing the entire time they had the ball then, but their backup quarterback did run in for 2 touchdowns as well. We are going to look to just put that preseason behind us. It was incredibly ugly. At least our starters looked okay. But before we go into cutting players, there is some news here. One, Quinnen Williams is now out for the year, but it shows the Philadelphia Eagles have cut Saquon Barkley, and I just want to see what his rating is now. Because I'm not going to lie, we need a mentor at running back because we do have the young guy in Will Pearson. I would love to get that bonus XP every single week. And the only other mentor was Alvin Kamara at a 67 overall with 85 speed. Had he had to come into the game, it was not going to be very pretty. But Saquon Barkley at a 77 with 89 speed, I am fine doing that. So we will be signing Saquon Barkley to the team. Also, just a quick thing, shout out to Kendra Miller because in my last series, he ended up being my star running back. He left me in free agency at one point on Madden 24, but I did turn him into a mid-90s overall back. But obviously, stuff like that does not matter in this year's game, and now we get to move on to cut 23 players. The very first move we're going to make here is moving quarterback Lakeem Molden over to the practice squad. So as of right now, Brandon Elliott is going to be our third string quarterback. There are multiple things here to handle at running back because right now we have way too many on the roster. The first thing we're going to do is cut running back Deion James. And even though I just brought him in, I will be cutting running back Najee Harris. We're going to roll with Will Pearson as our power back. Running back Keelan Wayne has honestly been really fun for us. We've had him since the start of the series, but I want to see if I can trade him for anything because he is a 75 overall. He has the player tag of a trade target, so we'll see if anyone wants to give us anything for him. I really don't want to cut him for absolutely nothing. I was looking around the league, and the 49ers have a really bad running back position, and the Eagles do as well, but both of them are over the cap, so I cannot trade with them. So how about the Los Angeles Rams? How about you give us a 4th round pick, and you get a brand new backup running back here, and they are fine with that. Before I go any further in cutting players, as I was looking around the league, I noticed something a little bit different. Obviously, whenever I started this series, I moved the Carolina Panthers to Toronto to become the Thunderbirds. Well, there have now been 2 more teams that moved during this offseason, and the first one is the New England Patriots have now become the Louisville Riverhawks, so that's one big change. But there's a much bigger change, and it happens to be in our division. The New Orleans Saints have moved, and have become the Buenos Aires Bulls. So they have moved all the way to Argentina. So yeah, a little bit weird, but that's something we'll have to deal with now. But I guess now let's just move back to setting up our roster, which is just a little bit weird. But we are going to be moving Derek Atkinson over to the practice squad as well. So we'll be rolling with Keaton Mitchell, Saquon Barkley, and Will Pearson. I don't really think this is going to shock anybody. Neither one of them really did anything for us. We will be moving Ben Beckwith over to the practice squad, but Troy Pearson with that 87 speed, you're getting cut. We will also be cutting wide receiver Daniel Sharp, and even though I like having the mentor player tag at receiver, I don't really see a way for us to keep DJ Chark, so he is also gone. For right now, these are the 6 receivers we will be using this season. And I told you at the start of the video that Jelani Woods probably was not going to make the roster, and he is not. Jumping over to the offensive line, we will be moving Shaquille Linton over to the practice squad as well. Along the defensive line, we just drafted Mason Schmidt, so Brian Brown, you will be getting released. Now, I did draft Raheem Rudd in the 5th round, but really he doesn't compare at all to these two, so he will be moving down to the practice squad as well. Over at defensive tackle, I think the best move is probably going to be moving Denard Morgan down to the practice squad for now, and we may be circling back to cut Britton Newkirk, but I'm going to see if I can make 4 defensive tackles work. At outside linebacker, Sean Chason has been on the team for a while. I believe he was part of our very first draft class, but he is not going to be on the team anymore. For our middle linebackers, I don't really think Gabe Peak can be saved from his overall, so we're going to cut him, and then middle linebacker Deontay Hart, we're going to move down to the practice squad. There are several moves I can make here at corner, but the first one we're going to do is cutting defensive back Delvin Ramsey. We're also going to be cutting Antoine Palmer, and I'm also tempted to cut defensive back Daryl Tatum, and you know what? We're actually just going to go ahead and do it. I want to make one more move here at corner, and I think we're going to do it with Tim Barner. He's 24 years old, a 76 overall, 90 speed, 75 man coverage. We're going to see if anyone is willing to trade like a low draft pick for him. There are actually a couple teams that are willing to make a deal with us, but I don't want any more players. I would rather just take a couple draft picks. Could we possibly end up with another 4th round pick, this one from the Giants? And yes, we will. I only need to make 2 more moves, and one of them is going to be moving free safety Thaddeus Wilkerson down to the practice squad. I would have really liked to keep all 3 of these left tackles, Rasheed Walker as our starter, Gerald Barkley as our backup, and then one of our draft picks in Jamario Young. I don't remember what round I took him in. It was actually round number 6, but I don't really see a spot on the roster to keep him, so we're going to be moving him down to the practice squad as well. And with that move, we will wrap up the preseason here for the 4th season of the Toronto Thunderbirds franchise. In the next episode, we will get to kick off in Seattle for week 1 as we take on the Seahawks. And I did take a peek at our schedule, and the first time we have to go to Buenos Aires will be in week 3 to take on the Bulls.